Hello, my name is Manuel Gutierrez, and in collaboration with Teresa Chereskin and Jen Sprintall at Scripps Institution of Oceanography, we will provide results that answer the following question. Has the Nate Drake Passage transport accelerated over the last 15 years in response to the increased wind over the Antarctic Circumpolar Current? We know that the wind stress over the ACC has increased in response to increasing greenhouse emissions over the last decades. However, how the ACC transport responds to this atmospheric forcing remains an open question. First of all, coarse resolution global climate models show that the transport increases with the increase in the strength of the westerly wind stress over the ACC. However, eddy permitting models show that the ACC transport remains invariant to the increase in the wind forcing, whereas the mesoscale eddy activity increases, such that it reaches an eddy saturation state. That is, that the ACC transport remains invariant, whereas the mesoscale eddy activity increases with the increase in the wind forcing. However, we need observations to confirm if this hypothesis is valid or not. For that, we use 15 years of data sets starting in October 2005 in Drake Passage. Drake Passage is the narrowest constriction through which the ACC flows. And for this study, we use XPT and XTD salinity transects, 6 to 7 transects per year with a vertical measuring in the upper 760 meters at 10-meter resolution. And they have a long track resolution of 11 kilometers, and in total, we have 67 transects. We also have underway a cross-transect total velocity, which provides 5-minute or 2-kilometer along track velocity profiles that are block average to 11-kilometer bins. The ADCP measures from 46 meters to 760 meters at our vertical resolution of 24 kilometers, and in total, we have 237 transects. And the key aspect of these data sets is the fact that it allows us to resolve physical processes from the first volcanic Rossby radius, which is 10 to 20 kilometers in Drake Passage, to Drake Passage length scale that is 800 kilometers. And given this high resolution of these data sets, what we use is to calculate the transport trends, a synoptic stringwise framework. And the synoptic stringwise coordinate system now, it's a combination of daily maps of sea level anomalies from Aviso, plus the mean dynamic topography that is calculated from 20 years of data. And we use this to track the position of the ACC streamlines and now do the binning of the different velocity profiles per pair of streamlines. So in the figure from left to right, it's moving towards Antarctica. And what we find is that there is acceleration of the eastward flow in the subantarctic front and in the polar front jets. That is the two major fronts of the ACC, whereas the area between the fronts show deceleration that is in the recirculation areas, although it's not significant. If you integrate these trends across Drake Passage, they will give you insignificant transport trends. What might be causing these trends, we now go into transient temperature and salinity, left and right, respectively. And what we find is that there is warming in the subantarctic front and salinification. And the most striking feature here is the cooling in the south flank and the salinification of the polar front. And this act to steepen the density gradients or increase the density gradients across the fronts such that you have more potential energy available. So in summary, we have that the unique time series in Drake Passage have been used to estimate trends in the ACC transport and temperature and salinity. What we uniquely found is that the subantarctic front and the polar front jets have accelerated in the last 15 years. We also found that there is cooling in the southern flank of the polar front and warming in the north flank of the subantarctic front that increase the density gradients across the fronts. Therefore, we have more potential energy available that is subsequently released through baroclinic instability processes that act to make more steering and meandering of the fronts, therefore more eddy formation. So our results, we think that are consistent with eddy saturation state. And this creation or generation of more eddies within the ACC also provides a way to accelerate the jets in the fronts by moving momentum or putting momentum from the eddies into the mean jets here. And These results and others are currently put together into a manuscript that is currently in review. And finally, we want to thank NOAA and NSF for funding this time series and this project. If you have any questions, please let us know in the Q&A session or send us an email. Thank you so much for watching and listening.